One.
Hey everyone, my name is Mashina. Hope you guys are doing amazing tonight. I am here with my family for Family Bible
Heyo.
Study. Say hi, guys. Hi. So we have Jake and Jeremiah, Isaiah, Jonah, Ezra, and Judah. We're so excited to be with you guys tonight. We have a couple of announcements, and the first one is we now have a Beyond Kids YouTube. So go ahead and subscribe to that because every Tuesday and Thursday night we're going to go live on our Beyond Kids Facebook page and on our Beyond Kids YouTube. And you won't want to miss it because we are going through this awesome devotional. It's called Indescribable. And if you do not have it yet, I suggest you get it and you can buy it on Amazon. But it's an awesome, awesome devotional to do with your family. And in light of Pastor Nate starting his new series, Behold Creation, we get to also study about creation with our families. So we're really excited about that. So tonight I'm going to cover the first chapter, and we're going to read through it, and then we have an object lesson, and next week we'll do another one. So let's get started.
And I just want to add something, if I may. Even though this is geared for families, the Word of God on any level will speak to any adult. So if you're joining and you're not joining with children, that's okay. We want you to stay and see what the Lord has to say to you today.
Yeah. So, in the beginning, God created the sky and the earth. The earth was empty and had no form. Then God said, "Let there be light." Genesis 1 through 3. Every picture and story starts with a blank page. Nothing is on it, and it's yours to do anything with it. That's exactly what happened with God when God sat down to create earth, the universe, and everything in it. He started with a blank page. Well, actually, it wasn't even a page, just darkness and nothing. And God, too, of course. Then he started to create, and it was exactly what he wanted. Planets spun into space, stars stretched across the universe, and galaxy upon galaxy swirled out into the universe. All throughout the universe and here on Earth, God shows his creativity to be indescribably, incredibly amazing. Who else could think up a spotted, long-necked giraffe? Who else could put a roar in a lion's mouth? Judah, can you give us a roar? Yeah. Roar.
Here, you got to scoot over to Mommy so they can see you.
Roar. Roar. Yeah.
Here, Judah, say it as big as a roar as you can to the camera. Right here. Say it.
Roar.
Roar!
There we go. And who else could put a purr in a kitten's tummy? Who else could think up stick bugs, sloths, leafy sea dragons, platypuses, or colorful mantis shrimp? Those are pretty amazing. God is infinitely creative. That means his creativity has no end.
And sharks.
Yep,
And
he
sharks.
made sharks. And God shows his creativity in you. You began as a blank page in his book. And he began writing your story before you were even born. It's going to be a great one. If you don't believe it, just check out some of the amazing stories he's already written for ordinary people just like you.
Mom, you're making pigs.
Yes, God made pigs. See, David, he was a little boy like you guys,
Listen to Mommy.
and he knocked out a giant named Goliath. Or Daniel, he napped with lions. And Esther, she saved her people. God's got an amazing story for you. Just wait and see. And so what we just read about tonight is how God has created you, each one of you, differently. He knew you before you were even born. And he knew the gifts and talents inside of you. He knew what your likes would be, what your dislikes would be. He knew every little thing about you. He knew how you look, and he gave you just different gifts and talents. Everyone is created differently. Just like here I have my family, none of us are the exact same. We all have different gifts and talents. Like Jeremiah, he is a great leader. People want to follow him, so that's a gift that God put inside of him. And he's also artistically creative. And then Isaiah here, God made him to be so smart, and he can figure out anything. Like if you said, Isaiah, program this robot, he would be able to figure it out because that's the gift God gave him. Or Jonah, he is so good with his words. He's naturally encouraging, and he can make you feel like $1,000,000. Yeah. Or Ezra here. His gift is speed, and he's super smiley. He brings joy to people around him. And Judah, he knows what he likes, and he's even a cuddler. So every one of those boys, even though we have a big family, God created them all differently. And he's created you differently. And so tonight we want to encourage you as parents and guardians with your families later on to talk about the gifts and talents that God's put inside of each of your children. And just pull those out of them as time goes on. And now I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jake because he has an awesome object lesson for us tonight.
Heyo. So I don't usually get called Mr. Jake in my home, in case any of you are wondering. But I have an object lesson, and I'm going to teach the boys, and I want you guys to pay attention here. Come sit down. And this object lesson is something that has impacted me, and I believe it will minister to all of you. All right. Let's see if I can see my tools here. Okay, boys. So, what is this?
A drill.
Huh?
A drill.
This is a drill. Some people call it a screw gun. Judah, what's this?
Hammer.
A hammer? Do you know what a hammer does?
Yeah.
What? What does it do?
It hits nails.
It hits nails?
Yeah.
That's right. What is...
A saw. Saw. Cut stuff.
Jonah, what does a saw do?
Cut stuff.
Like what kind of stuff?
Branches.
Wood.
Branches? Wood? Yeah, that's right.
And trees.
And trees. That's right, buddy. Okay. And can anyone tell me what this is?
Wood.
Wood. Is there anything in that wood?
Screw.
What is it?
Screw.
It's a screw. Is it a nail?
No.
No, it's a screw, right? So this tools are kind of like different, aren't they? Do these two things look the same?
No.
They look way different, don't they? And this seems really complicated, doesn't it? Seems fancy. But do you think this could cut this board in half?
No.
No. Do you think this could cut the board in half?
Yeah.
Yeah? You're right. Do you think this could cut the board in half?
No.
Do you think this could hammer this screw into the board?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
If you tried hard enough, huh?
Yeah.
But would it be easier with the drill? You know what? Let's try it. Let's try to hammer this screw into this board. Is it working?
No.
Should we try the saw and see if we can get it in there? Huh?
No.
What should we try?
The screw.
The drill. Let's do it. Think it'll go in easy?
Yeah.
Maybe if... There. Even I can use a tool once in a while. But let me tell you something, boys. This is kind of like people. Everyone is different. You're different. You don't look like the same person as your best friend. You don't have the same gifts. You don't have the same talents and abilities as everyone else. God made you special. He made you amazing. And He made you good at certain things. He put inside of you gifts and talents that you maybe don't even know that you have yet. Just like this saw can cut through that wood really easily, you might have something on the inside of you that you can do really easily. And that's an amazing gift. You may not be the fastest person in your class. You might be the slowest person in your class. But that's okay because you have other gifts and talents inside of you. You might feel like you get really nervous around people. But that's okay because God made you special and amazing. You know, when you look at the trees, there's no two trees the same. You could look at a tree that has pretty maple leaves in the fall, or you can look at a huge tall tree in California called the big redwoods. They look different, but you know what? They each have something special about them. And each one of you guys, each person out there, you have gifts and talents, and I believe all of us do have gifts and talents that we are constantly discovering. But listen, I want to say one more thing. You have to learn to love who you are because God made you amazing. He made you amazing. The Bible says two cannot walk together unless they agree. And that means if you don't see yourself as amazing, but God sees you as amazing, guess what? You can't walk together. But if you say, God, listen, here's a good prayer to pray. God, show me how amazing you made me. Show me how special you made me. Just like the lion and the kitty cat, they're not the same. Do you think a lion would say to the stick bug, I want to be like you? Huh? No way. Do you think the stick bug would say to the lion, I want to be like you? No way. The stick bug loves to be the stick bug because he has gifts. He can hide from animals that are trying to eat him. But do you think the lion or a zebra can hide very good? Not as good.
No.
Everyone has amazing gifts. And that's one thing we just wanted to say to you today. Just like this story that Miss Sheena read, amazing. There's an amazing plan for your life. There's an amazing plan for your life. Say, I have amazing plans in my life. What's next, Miss Sheena?
That's right. Well, we hope you all were blessed by tonight. We enjoyed being with you, and we just want to encourage you as a family to join us on Sunday morning on our regular Beyond Church Facebook or YouTube page as Pastor Nate starts his new series, Behold Creation. We're going to take this series and do it as a family, so we're not going to have kids services on Sunday, but we are going to be having live services or Bible times 3 times a week throughout the week. So we're really excited about that. And then we'll see you on Tuesday night. See you guys.
Everyone say bye.
Bye.
See ya.